Good morning, and this morning I'd like to talk to you about another archaeological model I've made. This time it's my attempt to reconstruct the type of tents that were used and inhabited by the people way back in the Ice Age, all those many thousands of years ago. Now we can get some idea of what these Ice Age tents looks like, because their plans, their marks have been preserved in places like France, and this is an example of a double tipi type of tent, which was found again in France, dating from the Ice Age. Hold on, I'll just put the camera around so you can see it. There you go, just down a bit there, and I'll bring it forward. Right, just a bit. Now, there were different varieties of tents made during the Ice Age by our Cro-Magnon forebears. Again, Cro-Magnon, the word Cro-Magnon man comes from another site in France where these people were first identified as well, people like us, early modern humans. Now, different varieties of tent plans. Some of them were made very, very much like the tipis of the later North American Indian peoples. There were square tents, but there were also tents which seem to be made, which to our eyes seem to be made up of multiple tipis. And this is one I attempted to replicate. That was supposed to be one section of the tipi. That's the other half of the tipi. And again, they are made like two tipis. And then there's a connecting corridor between them. And you can find, tent remains have been found, where there has been as many as 3 different tipis with their connecting corridors between them, each I think holding a separate family. And then sometimes there were just tipis where one is at the end of a very, very long corridor. They're at the end of very long corridors, almost as if the families sharing really couldn't stand each other that much. They wanted to have a nice long space or a hallway so that they didn't bump into each other. Very peculiar. It's not like we've known. Now, as I said, they were like the tipis. They were made of the hides of the animals of the Ice Age animals they hunted. You can see the tent poles here and the tent pole either side holding the corridor in. They also found, again, a seat here and a hearth around which they sat. Now, sat, prepared food, and probably talked and made poor Stone Age man jokes. Now, it's believed that within these tents there were separate spaces devoted to different activities, just as there are in homes, even today. I mean, we have a special kitchen. We have kitchens, dining rooms, parlours, and so on. Many other cultures have the same thing. They don't all use the same space for the same domestic purposes, and you can more or less find out what they were here. This is, I hope, a plan. I hope you can see that. Just a moment. I'll just get behind you. Yeah, I'll bring it forward a bit. This is the plan of the tent space, and there's the seat, there's the hearth. In the space between the two tents, that was the living area, and then behind there was a sleeping area. It's coloured red because they found a lot of red ochre there. Red ochre is also, as you will recall, found in some burials. It gives In the case of the burials, I think it was supposed to give a nice kind of flesh colour to the deceased. I also wonder whether it also had some kind of disinfectant quality. You put the stuff on yourself, and not only do you look better in the morning, but it happens to kill it might happen to kill any lice or any germs you might have in your body. And there, I'll just rotate this around so you can get a good idea of what a Stone Age tipi, double tipi, look like. Thank you for listening.